This week on our all-new SAS podcast. The last 4 quarterbacks to play under Bruce Arians was top 1 or 2 in yards per pass attempt.
That's good stuff.
Okay? Do you know what Brady was last year in yards per pass attempt in the league?
Where?
28th.
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind.
Yes, sir. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to a brand new exciting episode of the Strong Arm Sports Podcast, the realest sports talk pod in all the land.
Bro.
Nah, fam. This is coronavirus season, fam. I said in all the land.
Trump.
We need that energy. Everybody in their house, Leparis, they need our energy.
Facts.
Listen, folks. In case you don't know what you tuned in to, I got you, man. You tuned into the realest. We're here to provide a wrap-up of the previous week of sports in dramatic fashion, man. No BS, no sugarcoating, no biases, only the strong arm truth. I am one half of the show. I go by the name of K-Spade, the prospect.
And I'm your boy Leparis 57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports Spade.
Yes, sir.
I gotta tell him, Spade. Listen, man, I wanted to start the show with the coronavirus. Spade said, nah, ain't nothing to talk about. We talked about that already. But it is stuff to talk about. Spade, let's talk about how the coronavirus is running rapid through the NBA. So, bro, this shit is crazy. Because we knew Gobert. This ain't even a topic, y'all. I'm just strong-arming this shit in here because Spade ain't want to talk about it. I'm talking about it anyway. That's what we doing, Strong Arm Sports. Spade, we knew Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell had got that joint, but I don't know if you also knew that the Brooklyn Nets, a couple of the Brooklyn Nets had it. KD is one of them. Spade.
I think they said 4.
Bro.
4 Brooklyn Nets guys,
Yeah, it
right?
was. It was 4 Brooklyn Nets tested positive for the coronavirus. Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart announced he tested positive for the coronavirus. Detroit Pistons, Christian Wood tested positive for the coronavirus. The Lakers announced that 2 players tested positive for the coronavirus, and the 76ers revealed that 3 members of their organization tested positive for the coronavirus. And Denver also announced that people in their organization tested positive for the coronavirus. Not only that, Idris Elba, did I say that right? Idris Elba tested positive for the coronavirus. Bro, this thing is running rapid, Spade. And Spade didn't even want to talk it. I strong arm this in here.
I think it's the common cold at this point.
Oh, that's what you just think? I mean, because some people ain't even showing symptoms, Spade, and they just got the coronavirus.
Yes. So since I didn't want to bring it up.
You didn't want to bring it up, but I did it anyway.
I didn't. Since you want to bring it up, let me air my issues with it. I was talking with some people on social because I do that way too often. And I was just saying like, yo, it's weird because I was told that this thing hits you. It starts off, you got flu-like symptoms. The only thing that might be different is some respiratory issues. You know, you might have trouble breathing. And then we saw Donovan Mitchell speaking with Robin Roberts, and he was saying that if it wasn't an announcement that I was sick, you wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't have any symptoms. I feel fine. Idris Elba basically said he feel fine. And more people been coming out saying they feel fine. KD, it was a report that KD said even though he tested positive, he feels fine. So I'm like, wait, I mean, so here's my issue with it.
Go ahead.
In the wild, the people listening to this podcast, Leparis, you and I, if we go to any medical facility, like we want to be tested for the coronavirus, and I know because my wife works in the medical industry, it's a checklist that they go through, and they got to check off so many things, and that might vary depending on your age or, whatever symptoms they do check off. But you basically got to pass a test to say that you deserve to be tested for it. So it's bothersome to me that all these people, all these celebrities, these wealthy people, they just can be tested, regardless of showing any symptoms. And what I keep hearing is it's a limit on tests. It's not a whole lot of tests out there. So It's just a bunch of information out there that may not be 100% true. People was tweeting me back like, well, the problem is people are waiting until they get symptoms to be tested. No, that is not the problem. The problem is you can't walk in somewhere feeling 100% fine and even qualify for the damn test. You can't even get it. So if you're a regular person, you ain't going to get a test until you damn near, you're going to be sick before you can even get the test. Right. And I just got a problem with that, man. And you know, that's why I didn't want to talk it. It just bothersome to me.
I mean, that's good stuff you just said because I didn't even know that. So it's good that we did talk it. I just wanted to mention the other players that got it in the league, and I'm pretty sure there's people in the NFL that got the coronavirus too. That probably
for sure,
probably either it wasn't mentioned publicly yet, or maybe they haven't been tested yet. So we don't know. But Spade, let's get into today's business, man.
Let's do it, bro.
Let's get into today's business. So if you guys didn't know, the New England Patriots and Tom Brady decided to part ways. Tom Brady is not... Spade, this is going to be interesting. You want to know why? Because for the longest, we've seen a lot of guys we know, Spade, be New England Patriot fans. And we like, I'm not that guy that's like, yo, why you like New England and you live in California? I'm not that guy. I like the Cowboys. I live in Jersey. I'm not that guy. But Spade, it's going to be it. The thing about it is cool. If you want to live in California or Texas or wherever and you want to like New England, cool. My thing is don't leave when they suck. Spade, I've been rocking with the Cowboys since like 89. And I'm still here. This is my point.
Right.
You know what I mean? The point is when they get bad and they go down and they ain't winning championships and they ain't in the playoffs and they ain't all that and Tom Brady gone and Bill Belichick gone, I want to see who still remain a New England fan. It's the same thing we talked about, Spade. Spade, me and you've been watching the NFL. And I'm going to get into the topic, Spade, but let me just say this. Me and you've been watching the NFL for a long time, bro. Spade, could you ever, just think back, could you ever remember when it was like, yo, I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan? Come on, fam. You ain't no Seattle Seahawks fans.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So they get good. My point is, when you want to pick a team because they good right now, you got to stick with them when they down. And Seattle still, they still arguably in the hunt. They always right there. Same thing with the Golden State Warriors, babe. We talked about that, and we done lived through the Run TMC days. We done seen Chris Webber. We done seen Monte Ellis and all them boys over there. We done seen when Baron Davis and Steven Jackson had debate jumping. Now, Steph and they get... Wait a minute now. Let's see if people still going to be Warrior fans. That's what I'm interested to see. But anyway.
Yep.
Got to get into the topic. Tom Brady and New England decided to part ways, and Tom Brady ended up signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Spade.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus Christ. And I think he got 2 years, $50 million, the whole 50 guaranteed. Spade. Tom Brady in Tampa. And Spade, do not.
Bro, don't tell me what to do not do.
Do not start this shit like you did in pre-pro and make this about a team that has nothing to do with. Go ahead, Spade.
First of all, don't tell me what to do not
Spade.
do, okay? It's so many areas I want to attack this from. One, when I told you the Patriots said that they were willing to offer Brady 30 for a year to come back, and I was saying that was just asinine to me. And you was like, 30 is the rate. Wherever he go, he's going to get 30. So I feel better to see that he didn't get 30.
25, Spade, but they got other big money guys in Tampa. What's the name offered him more money, and he went to Tampa. They offered him like $33 million.
Who?
The Chargers. Like $33 million they offered him. He decided to go to Tampa.
Okay. So that's first. Second of all, I want to do something that people not going to like. But I kind of like being the bad guy, so I'm cool with that. I got stats pulled up right here in front of me, man. I'm looking at Jameis Winston's numbers from last season. I'm looking at Tom Brady's numbers from last season. And everybody likes to talk about the 30 INTs, and that's understandable. Jameis definitely threw 30 INTs, and Brady only threw 8. However, I want to give you some other stats that you might want, because I see a lot of excitement, Leparis. People really happy that Tom Brady's going to Tampa.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to be the Molly of the show. I don't want to be the Molly, okay? Spade. They telling people to self-quarantine and self-distance, social distancing. It was reported that Tom Brady was going to sign in Tampa, and they was out there at the airport like Tom Brady was coming down there.
All right, Pete, let me give you some numbers. I just want them to curb their enthusiasm.
Okay, cool.
Jameis Winston's QBR last season was a 53.7. Mm-hmm. And somebody going to say, damn, that ain't good. Well, Tom Brady's QBR from last year was a 53.7. Identical. Identical. All right, let's look at completion percentage because surely Brady's much better there. Jameis Winston completion percentage last season was a 60.7. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady's was a 60.8. Damn near identical. But I'm going to tell you something that people don't know. Brady, and every time I tell people this, folks, they want to combat it. If you look at every quarterback in the top 10 average more yards per attempt than Brady. Everyone in the top 10. Shit, I can keep going. Let me see how far I go before I see somebody as low as Brady. 18. 18 is the next person as low as Brady, and that's Andy Dalton. And if you go all the way back to 21, that's the first person below Tom Brady, and that is none other than Mitchell Trubisky. But let me get back to where I am. Jameis Winston averaged 8.2 yards a pass. Brady averaged 6.6. Of course, Jameis Winston threw for over 5,100 yards last season. Brady threw for a little over 4,000. Brady was sacked 27 times in New England. Jameis Winston was sacked 47 times in Tampa Bay. Now, if you want to say that some of that is Jameis' fault because he was indecisive, or held on to the ball too long, or tried to extend the play, I would give you 10 of those. I would give you 10 of those for Jameis. And then we could drop that down to 37 sacks, which is still double-digit more sacks than Brady faced in New England. And if anybody thinks Brady is more mobile than Jameis Winston, they are out of their minds. Folks, I want y'all to realize something else. Leparis, now I'm going to the phone because I take my stat research very seriously. I got a stat right here people don't know.
You kind of be statting me to death sometimes when I only be wanting stats. But
it's okay. It's okay. It balances the show out. Bruce Arians, Leparis, we said last year when Bruce Arians went to Tampa, we said a lot of pressures on Jameis Winston because Bruce Arians is considered the quarterback whisperer, and if he can't get you right, nobody can. Now, if you're looking at the fact that Jameis threw for a league-leading 33 touchdown passes and a league-leading 5,100 passing yards, you can say that Bruce Arians, he made Jameis better. Jameis also led the league in interceptions thrown, but they threw the football a heap. Jameis had 626 pass attempts, and I'm pretty sure that leads the league as well. As I'm scanning around, I don't see anybody. Oh, Jared Goff threw for the same amount. Jared Goff also threw for the same amount. Here's a stat on Bruce Arians that you don't know. The last 4 quarterbacks to play under Bruce Arians was top 1 or 2 in yards per pass attempt.
That's good stuff.
Okay? Do you know what Brady was last year in yards per pass attempt in the league?
Where?
28th. Wow. 28th. So one or two things is going to happen in this experiment. Either the great Bruce Arians, who is the quarterback whisperer, is going to say, I'm going to defer to Tom Brady, and we're going to run our offense more suited for Brady? Or we going to see Tom Brady in an offense where they want him to stretch the field vertically and stand behind an offensive line that gets the quarterback hit a lot? Leparis, I don't think this is going to end well. I don't think it's going to end well. I said all of that to say I don't think this is going to end well. Tampa Bay fans think that Jesus himself just came back and put on the chin strap and is going to lead them to the promised land. And I got bad news for you. I got bad news for you. Unless y'all finna have Mike Evans running quick slants and drags, I don't think this works well. I really don't.
It's crazy, Spade, because people are actually saying, oh, Tampa Bay is going to win that division. The Saints is right there.
They may, but it's going to require Bruce Arians to approach games completely differently.
Say it again?
It's going to require Arians to change. If Arians runs the same offense that he's known for running, it's not going to work. You heard it here first, fam. It is not going to work.
Over under 8 wins.
Under.
Wow.
Under.
You know what?
Jameis got sacked 47 times behind that line. You think Brady getting away from the pass rush?
I don't like they line, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like they run game, and I know
they can't run the ball.
I don't like they run game either. I figure
they ain't got a run game.
I thought they would have picked up a guy like a Melvin Gordon or Jordan Howard, or, one of those guys. Or maybe they're gonna draft a running back. I don't know what they got planned, but I do not like their running game. And I mean, for whatever reason, when Tom Brady was in New England, like Sony Michel, I have a good game, then they get in the doghouse, they have a good game, back in the doghouse, then they'll be missing. But Tom Brady is the king of dumping that shit out the backfield. That's why they had a guy like James White, and when Deion Lewis was there, like he'd just dump that shit to those guys. And like, I don't see that type of. I could be wrong. I ain't tuned in to Tampa Bay like that. I mean, I know about.
What do you think about Ronald Jones? You like him?
I'm not really. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. When they showed Tampa lineup, it was like O.J. Howard, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who just had a monster year. Chris Godwin just went bananas. And they had Ronald Jones right there, and I'm like, I don't like the back, but. We're going to talk about the running back position a little later, so I don't even want to get. But I just figured they can get better there. I don't know if they're going to do it through the draft or if they're happy with what they got. But I'm not a Ronald Jones fan. I know somebody want to get in this comment section and be like, "Well, you haven't been watching Ronald Jones did." I don't care. I know what I see. Anyway, as far as Tom Brady going to Tampa, listen, I think Tom Brady and I thought Tom Brady would have been headed back to New England. But for whatever reason, him and Bill Belichick couldn't work out their issues. It was reported that they had a conversation and it just went, it was like they understood at that moment it was over. It was done. I just don't know why he would go to Tampa, Spade. Out of all the teams that wanted Tom Brady, especially once you seen what the Texans just did, I just knew for a fact he was going to go to the Colts. I just knew he was going to go to the Colts.
I can see some reasons why you would.
Go to Tampa or the Colts?
To Tampa.
Why, Spade?
I mean, I hate to be this guy, but if you coming into a situation with Arians, I don't know what type of conversation they had, but like I said, my prediction that this experiment is gonna fail is based off the offenses I've seen Bruce Arians run. I don't know, him and Tom could have talked. He could have told Tom, look, Tom, I'll throw my whole fucking playbook in the trash, and we'll work this. I don't know what conversations they had, but it's also the non-football reason. You see a lot, and I do mean a lot, not just in football, in across all professional sports. You see a lot of older guys, when they signing that deal that seemed like it's their last deal, they play for a team in Florida if they can help it, man, because it's beautiful weather. It's free of state tax. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to come down here to the Sunshine State. You're going to get you a nice little retirement pad. You feel me? You're going to save up a little bit of chips because you're not paying that state tax. Even if you don't stay here forever, you're going to make this your default residence when you file taxes. So you get, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. Do I see them? But Leparis, I told some others too.
Man, I got to cut you off, bro. Because
go ahead, bro.
I don't think that's Tom's situation. Tom got a wife, bro. They did their net worth, like even when they was talking about Tom signing his deal with him either going to the Bucks or the Chargers, they was like, Tom shouldn't be looking for money, bro. They are estimated worth like $600 million. Damn near over half a billion. Do you know what the taxes
look like on net worth?
Huh?
You think he get a tax return?
Spade, come on, man.
People with money want to keep their money.
I got it, but they just bought
all these professional athletes that come to Florida got money.
Connecticut, literally, they just
and they can still live there. And I understand that, Leparis, but if you play in Florida, you can make that residence your quote unquote. You can have 15 houses. Only one of them is gonna get credit for being your default residence, and I guarantee you, he gonna make that the house in Florida.
I don't know. Spade.
That's why Shaq still got a house in Florida.
I don't know, Spade.
That's why Grant Hill is part owner of the Atlanta Hawks and still got a house in Florida. People pimping the system, man. And I know they got bread, but people who got bread want to keep it.
I just don't know why you go there. I don't, even with Tom Brady.
You think the Chargers was better?
And I'm just saying, if it was about money, then he would have went to the Chargers.
No, it wasn't. The cost of living is higher there. The tax is higher there. It's not about money. It's not. That's the dumbest move of the choices we named.
LA, he could still have his house. He still have a house in Florida.
But it won't be his default residence.
I don't know.
That won't be his default residence.
I don't know if that's it. I don't know. Now, your Arians conversation could have been it, but I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it. I don't think you don't, listen, you don't cop a house in Connecticut and be worried about money. Connecticut is one of the highest priced places to live.
Okay.
Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's it.
I think if I cop a house in the highest place to live, I want to offset that with some way of saving money. And why not go to a place that's got a cheaper cost of living with no state tax? That's going to offset that expensive purchase in Connecticut. It's going to offset their house in California that they got.
Maybe you're right. I don't think that's it. I don't know why you go to Tampa Bay to go play the Saints, Atlanta, and Carolina.
Ain't nobody scared of them teams no more, though.
Bro, the Saints been right there in like the past 3 years.
Yeah, and then they'll cheddar bob themselves.
But they ain't playing Tampa Bay in the playoffs.
Either the refs will cheddar bob them,
like
or they'll cheddar bob
they
them
playing
themselves.
Other teams and other things has happened. We seen bad calls go against the Saints, but it ain't because they ain't been right there. I don't know. I think I would have liked
that the notion.
I would have liked them to go to the Colts. You look at what the Texans just did. It is on the table for the Colts to win this shit. Well, it was. We'll talk about the quarterback they got in the few, but
yeah, I mean, if you saying you feel like the Colts was the better team, I'll give you that. But I don't like how you saying Brady them got so much money that they ain't worrying about saving any. But on the flip side, Brady, who thinks he's the GOAT, is afraid of Drew Brees. He don't give a fuck about Drew Brees or the Saints. Fuck those guys. He's not dodging competition. I can assure you, Tom Brady think he better than everybody. He's not looking at the landscape of, I don't want to play the Saints. He don't give a fuck about the Saints or the Falcons.
But
I'm telling you that right now.
Ain't it about winning?
Yeah, but he think he can win anywhere. He's
with that defense? With Tampa Bay defense?
You trying to tell me you don't think that Brady think he can go anywhere and be the man? Brady?
Bro, you just told me Tom Brady's stats. You think he ain't being realistic with himself?
You think Brady lacks in confidence?
I'm saying he being realistic with himself. Like, oh shit, I ain't what I was.
He went to a team that didn't even. The whole team had about 1,400 rushing yards as a team last season.
I don't know, Spade. I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's only one way to solve this shit. Tom, call up to the show. Tell us what the hell you was thinking, because we don't know.
Yeah,
we can't figure it out.
I don't. Like I said. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. If that's the case, I'd have just took my ass back to New England.
I still feel like the best move on the table was going back to New England. But him and Bill Belichick clearly got some issues somewhere. All right? So anybody else would have probably said, well, shoot, I retire. But I could imagine, and obviously I don't know, I can imagine if I'm Tom Brady, I went from barely being drafted to sitting on the bench watching Drew Bledsoe light up the league to winning 6 rings, and everybody and their mama call me the GOAT, to, you know what, I'm not going to hang him up yet. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to prove to everybody that it wasn't Bill Belichick. It wasn't his system. I'm the one that made this shit work. I'm the man. I'm the GOAT. Yeah.
So you think Tom Brady's still walking around here thinking he's the best quarterback in the league?
Absolutely.
And Tom Brady, he bugging. Tom Brady bugging. He bugging.
You gotta have that confidence.
Like Tom Brady's looking at the stats too. So
I think 25 of these dudes and you know what Tom won't say? Tom probably thinking, shit, man, Julian Edelman just led the league in drops. If Julian ain't dropping half of them shits, my numbers even, I guarantee, yes, I fully expect Tom Brady walking around thinking, you can plug me in any system out here, and I'm plussing 4 wins to that team. Me, Tom Brady.
Well, 45-year-old Tom Brady tripping.
Yeah, that's what he think.
Yeah, he about to go to Tampa and get 6 wins.
Hey, and to be fair, that could definitely happen. He won't be the first or last player that over-assess their own talent. Players, they gotta have that supreme confidence, and sometimes it bite them in the ass. Sometimes it don't. And just because I think this shit is gonna fail, I should also turn around and say, if he goes to Tampa and he somehow or another make these dudes look legendary, fam, I'm gonna eat the most helpful, wholesome serving of crow. Like, I'm gonna come up here and say Tom Brady just surpassed Dan Marino. If this man take these Bucks any damn where, I'm gonna come on this show and say that. Yeah.
People are saying the Bucks are going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win that division. I do not think the Bucks are going to win that division. They're not. I don't think the Bucks are going to the playoffs.
Ain't the Super Bowl in Tampa?
Shit, don't get me the line. If we even have a Super Bowl, shit, the way the world is.
I think, well, that's a whole nother story. I think it's in Tampa, so they might go. They might pull up. I'm sure they'll get some good rates on seats. They'll be there.
Yeah, they'll be pulling up to watch that hoe. Shit.
Damn right.
But let's move on.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah, let's.
Man, so
ahead.
Free agency has been crazy this week.
Yeah.
Leparis, at one point I hit your phone and I said,
first of all, say thank you. First of all, say thank you. Because
I hit your phone one day this week and I said,
the NBA done shut it down and the NFL coming with fire. Say thank you.
I hit your phone this week and I said, yo, just when I thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about this week, the NFL said, hold my beer. Free agency was crazy this week, man. And yeah, I'm thankful, I guess. Man, it ain't matter to me. I was going to come up here and make it do what it do anyway. I come up here and talk about anything. But let's zero in on one particular division. I'm not biased here, but let's go to the AFC East. Because the Miami Dolphins broke out the checkbook, and let me tell you, many people came over. Brian Flores, ex-linebacker coach of the New England Patriots, current head coach of the Miami Dolphins, went back to some familiar faces, brought a few Patriots over in free agency, and kind of, I gotta admit, man, we made moves that I like. We went after Byron Jones. We temporarily made him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. We went and got Jordan Howard, who I'm actually a fan of. I looked at Jordan Howard's numbers. I know people feel like he got injury issues, but when that dude is on the field, his productivity hasn't wavered. I think the Miami Dolphins won free agency.
Well,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, you failed to mention that y'all gave Eric Flowers the bag. Huh. Y'all gave Kyle Van Noy the bag. Shaq Lawson got the bag. Emmanuel Ogbah, not really the bag, but 2 for 15. Spade. They won free agency. They had the most money.
Yeah, that was planned.
Spade,
that was planned when we moved on from Jarvis Landry after he led the league in receptions. It's because we didn't want to pay him all that money. We wanted to sit on our checkbook for days like this. I don't know. I think we might take Tua. I don't know.
Y'all drafting Tua.
I mean, we still got Rosen. We still got the kid.
Bro, Rosen look like he on the blizzard. They talking about Rosen end up in New England.
He's not on the block. He's not on the block, fam. Fam, he not on the block.
Bro, y'all spent all this bread. Spade, what that's going to get y'all? One more win?
Nah, fam. We look good.
I ain't going to front. Miami also had picks 5, 18, 26, 39, and 56 in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Spade, are they going to jack it up? Are they going to jack up the picks?
I don't think so, man. I think this is the year that we get an up arrow. I like the moves.
Spade talking about the moves. You are talking about Miami won free agency like the Bills wasn't right there. The Bills offseason so far, they traded for Diggs. They signed Mario Addison. They got Josh Norman. They signed A.J. Klein. They re-signed Quentin Spann, the guard. They signed Quentin Jefferson, the defensive end. They signed Vernon Butler. They extended Jordan Poyer. They got a draft coming up as well. Spade, what are you talking about? The Bills had a great season this past year. How did the Dolphins win free agency?
Bro, let me tell you something. You mentioned Josh Norman. Josh Norman ain't even projected to be a starter for them.
Bro, he don't gotta be a starter. They stacked. If you're telling me Josh Norman, who is not what he once was, but if you're telling me I can get Josh Norman not to cover the first or second wide receiver and he could come out and be a nickel or a dime package corner, that's a steal.
Is it?
You said, is it?
Yeah.
Bro, you telling me Josh Norman covering your third, fourth, or fifth best wide receiver is not a steal?
Yeah, I don't know if he can cover anymore. I think he need to be looking at getting moved to safety. In all honesty,
Oh my gosh!
I just being honest. I don't know if he that dude.
So y'all want free agency? Y'all just gave Byron Jones the bag from Dallas, and I'm happy B. Jones got his money. But Lord, when I seen that number, I'm like, I'm glad Dallas didn't pay it. Dude got like 3 interceptions his whole career.
That's cool. He do the stuff that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, and
Go
you
ahead,
know
go ahead
it
and talk
because you
it
was
up.
just a
Go
fan
ahead.
of this guy.
Go ahead
You
and
was
talk it
just
up.
a fan of this guy. So you finna do this thing because now he got a Dolphin helmet on. Now all of a sudden
Bro, I
he
tweeted
ain't
that.
good.
I tweet when they were saying, bro, before he even when they tweeted like, yo, it looked like Byron Jones is going to leave the Cowboys, but he's going to be the highest paid corner in the league. I'm like, yo, we gotta be out. We gotta be out. No, they were saying 20 million, but I mean, I think he got like 18 and a half. That's a high number for a guy that really don't turn the ball over. He don't turn the ball over.
He's with a better, He in a
Go
better
ahead and
system
talk that
now.
shit.
Flores.
Go ahead.
Flores got him now. I do want to give Bills their props on the Stephon Diggs deal. I feel like they stole Stephon Diggs, man. They got Diggs and a 7th-round pick from the Vikings for a 1st, a 5th, a 6th, and a 4th. Them boys gave up a sack of picks, and I still think they got a deal because Stephon Diggs is that good of a receiver. I think he's a really good receiver. So
Yeah,
that's
their
cool.
problem is their quarterback too. Is old boy going to stop fumbling? Josh Allen, is he going to stop fumbling?
Time to tell.
Is he going to stop turning the ball over in crucial moments of the game? Like that's what they got to worry about. I do not think the Dolphins won the offseason. But okay, Spade, you a little excited. You excited?
I mean, who you think won though?
Bro,
You
I
think
just
the
told
Bills
you what the
won?
Bills did. I like what the Bills did.
So you think the Bills won?
Bro, I like what the Bills did. I mean, we're going to be talking about a couple more teams. I like what the Cardinals did. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, but then, I guess.
Spade,
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a home run.
Spade, listen. We're going to talk about what the Cardinals did. I just want to mention it because we're going to talk about Hopkins in a minute. But I got to admit, they got Hopkins. The Cardinals re-signed Larry Fitz. Don't disrespect Larry Fitz. We know he's an older wide receiver, but he's still out there getting it done. We ain't going to disrespect Larry Fitz, are we? Spade?
I ain't got no comment, man. I ain't got no comment.
We not going to disrespect Larry Fitzgerald, are we?
Let me pull that man numbers from last
Go ahead.
year. You continue to talk.
Go ahead with a.
Go ahead,
And
do your
remember, he played with a rookie quarterback. They re-signed DJ Humphries. They transition tag Drake. They traded for Hopkins. They signed Jordan Phillips. They signed Davon Kennard, and they got Devondre Campbell from Atlanta. And they got rid of David Johnson's contract. That's pretty damn good. And they got draft picks. Come on, Spade.
Okay, yeah. I just feel like the D-Hop is the home run that's making their free agency look. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they deserve credit for it because you talking about a theft. They stole this guy.
Huh.
But I don't know.
Okay. You excited about your Spade over under 8 wins for the Dolphins?
Push right at 8.
That's a win.
But that's +3 on last
That's
season.
a win.
So
If they get 8 wins,
Yeah.
that's a win.
Yeah. That's
I don't know
+3.
because I don't know who their quarterback is. I don't know who. You
That's
talking
true.
about Rosen,
I don't either.
Fitzpatrick,
Shit.
Tua, Herbert, Love. We don't know who they drafted.
It better not be Herbert. It better not be.
Okay,
Herbert. I
Spade,
don't
you
like
ready to move on? Wait a minute. We
Yes,
talking
sir.
about the Jets ain't really do much.
Yeah, I was just saying that the Jets ain't do much, and we know what the Patriots did. Came across more as a loss. But the only thing I got for the Jets is they released Tremaine Johnson and they re-signed the guard.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to talk about Robbie Anderson. It do not look like the Jets are going to re-sign Robbie Anderson, who,
It don't.
I mean, I like Robbie Anderson as a wide receiver, but it looked like they done with him. So, I mean, we talking AFC East. We had to mention New England and the Jets. Don't look like the Jets did much.
Right.
And I think New England lost more than they can ever get in return. So, Spade, you ready to move on?
I am. You got me looking at these cards, and they might have.
Bro,
They might have.
Bro, David Johnson is off the books. That's a plus right there.
Yeah.
What the fuck are the Texans thinking? We ain't even got the Texans on this list.
I honestly don't know, bruh.
Bro, like Bill O'Brien needs to be fired like last week. You traded DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, it's just a whole another situation that we don't even have. I mean, we got Hopkins on the list. We're going to talk about him. But I guess we can save it for now. Let's save it for now. But Spade, let's take it to the running back position. We talked about David Johnson. And Spade, I've been telling you for probably the last 2 years or 3 years that the running back position is really not that position no more. If you have a kid, a son, and you want to be a running back, you better move him somewhere else because they are treating running backs like the stank hole on the block. Like she funky, Spade. Like they just get passed around, no respect. Like Spade, the way they are treating running backs is just terrible at this moment. It's bad at this stage of the league. If you guys didn't know, running backs on the move, Melvin Gordon. We know he held out with the Chargers last year. That did not work out for him, and he ended up signing with the Broncos. He said he excited to play the Chargers. It was other teams that wanted Melvin Gordon. And he said he was excited to go to the Broncos because he wanted to play the Chargers 2 times a year. Spade, I want players to get that shit out their system too. You need to go to the best place available for your skill set, the best opportunity, the most money. Like that's what players need to be looking at. Not like, oh, I remember when the Cowboys had cut Dez. He was like, I want to go to the Giants. I want to go to the Eagles because I want to play them 2 times a year. Players got to get that shit out their system. But Melvin Gordon went to the Broncos. Bro, the head scratcher with Spade, I mean, me and you been asking on this show, what the hell is wrong with Todd Gurley for the past 2 years? The Rams cut Todd Gurley. Not only that, Freeman from Atlanta got cut. Like, just the running back position is not the position to play, man. They take the most abuse. They don't get their fair market value. And then once they use you and abuse you, they kick your ass to the curb. Spade, Melvin Gordon went to the Broncos. Gurley got cut, went to Atlanta. Talk about these moves.
Yeah, I don't love either of the moves. You talked about Devontae Freeman being cut, and as a guy that just was in the heat of the Atlanta reach and their fans. I know that Atlanta fans, they fell out of love with Devontae Freeman. People don't remember that Devontae was Coleman's backup. They had Devontae Freeman and, is it Telvin Coleman? We always do this. We don't know if it's Tevin or Telvin, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Tevin. So Devontae was his backup, but Coleman got injured. Devontae played well, and he won that job. So then they had a situation where they had 2 really good backs. They couldn't keep both. Somebody was going to get the bag, and Freeman had stepped up. So, of course, we see Coleman go to San Francisco, re-emerge as that guy because Atlanta always thought he was the guy, which is why he was the first-string running back anyway. But then Freeman started to get injury issues and couldn't stay healthy. And then when he was healthy, it looked like he lost something, Leparis, to me. Yeah. Looked like he lost a step. It was a few other things you could probably blame it on, a completely different system. The OC was changing, seemed like every other week. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. But you take Todd Gurley, who, Leparis, we said on this podcast, and this is no shade at Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is back home, man. Hell of a back at the University of Georgia. Hell of a back when he first came into the league. But that playoff run, see, I'm jumping around, but I'm gonna bring it full circle.
Go ahead.
The Rams did something. They had a very unique approach to what they were doing with their roster. They basically went and got as many pieces as they could get, knowing that it was going to be no chance that they could keep all that shit together because everybody was going to have to be paid,
That's right.
Which meant they had like a 2-year window. It was only going to be 2
That's
years.
Right.
We said it on this show.
They got a short window to go get it. A short window.
They had a 2-year window at max to go get it done because those, man, they was bringing folks in. They brought in Sue.
I got it right here. Rams losses. The people that was on the Rams that are no longer there. Todd Gurley, Dante Fowler, Michael Brockers, Corey Littleton, Clay Matthews, Nick, however you said, Nickel, Roby Coleman, Eric Weddle, and a defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips, is all gone. And Brandon Cooks is allegedly on the block.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely no way they was going to be able to keep all that together. But it was a very aggressive approach, and I applaud it. But it just didn't work. And they got hella close. But they didn't. You know what they say, man? Close only makes sense in horseshoes and hand grenades. Right. Otherwise, don't nobody give a damn about how close you are. Right. And it didn't work. So now those pieces got to go. But Leparis, I won't let them off the hook because the year that they was making that playoff run was the year that they had Big Boy.
I ain't hear you.
I won't let them off the hook. I won't let them off the hook. And I ain't talking about for their plan. I love the plan. I'm talking about for this Todd Gurley thing. Because Leparis, we were saying on the show, Todd Gurley cannot be okay. If he was, it is absolutely no reason for him to not be getting the carries. Right. We saw another running back, an older running back, come in and emerge as the star during that playoff run. Who was it?
C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson was running the hell out the rock. And we kept saying, yo, I don't care what. Look, Todd Gurley was like, I'm fine. The Rams like, he's fine. Like, we just like C.J. Like, I don't know how stupid we look. Something is wrong with Todd Gurley. They wouldn't say anything. After the end of it all, they came back and said he had arthritis in his knees. And I was like, yo, that might be it for Todd Gurley. Todd might be washed. Last year, at the start of our season, when we did our top fives, I said, I don't like this running back position because I don't know if I believe in any of these guys. I don't even feel like Todd Gurley's a sure thing anymore. I just said it. So you take that and you finna send him to Atlanta, who they just had an issue with Freeman. You're going to replace Freeman with Gurley. Now, the good thing is they got him for cheap. I think it's a 1 year, $5 million deal, if I'm not mistaken. So look, if you can catch lightning in a bottle for $5 million a year, you do it. So I understand it. But they better have a plan B. Leparis, because I think it's over for him. I think he's washed.
It's a lot of running backs in this draft. They could scoop a running back in the second or third round. I mean, it's a lot of
late in the fourth.
It's a lot of running backs. It's a lot of wide receivers in this draft as well. It's a good wide receiver draft. I feel like it's a good running back draft, and people are also saying that it's a good quarterback draft. I can argue that, but I won't waste the time. But people are saying this, like if you need a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver, they're saying this is the draft to be in. Spade.
Yeah, man.
Bro, we've been asking the question. I always had a problem with Melvin Gordon. You know me and Wisconsin backs. You know me and Alabama backs. And it's been a few guys lately kind of debunking this Alabama shit. But, I mean, broke clock. I can do the broke clock thing because it's only been 3 Alabama backs in what? All the years of Alabama? So, I mean, if you want to say Sean Alexander, old boy from the Raiders, and Derrick Henry, cool. I mean, they might say Ingram too. Ingram had a good year. With the Ravens. So if you want to say 4 backs out of all the years in Alabama, I'm still on. I don't trust Alabama backs. Cool, but Spade, running back is just not the position. They sign these deals. I even seen a tweet. I think it was Joe Hayden was like, man, Saquon better get his second deal right now because the way they treating running backs is just not right. Like Joe Hayden tweeted that, and Saquon actually responded and was like, he gonna leave it in God's hands and just do his job or whatever. Cool, but the way they are treating running backs is disgusting. It's disgusting. It's nasty.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I don't know what we're gonna get from Gurley. It's crazy because Gurley is only like 25 years old, bruh. And I asked on Twitter, like, Gurley, 25 years old. Is Gurley actually done? Is he done?
I don't think
what's
done.
A good see? I told you, getting 1,000 yards to me, I could be wrong. I know it's a lot of teams that do running back by committee, but getting 1,000 yards to me, it shouldn't be hard for if you a decent running back in the league, you should be able to get 1,000 yards. It's like 62 yards a game.
I think it's harder now though, but
to get
because
a
of the
grand?
running back by committee. Yeah, man. Only 16 running backs did it last season.
Spade, what's a winning seat for Gurley? Like personal. 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns.
So he's coming off of a season where he had 857 on the ground. A very unique case for him. He had 12 TDs, so it really looks like they just gave it to him every time they was in the red zone. I don't know if that is going to be Atlanta's approach. I'm looking at the guy he's replacing. Freeman had 656 on the ground, but he only had 2 TDs. And they both, Freeman was 3.6 a carry and Gurley was 3.8 a carry. So I guess he got to at least get 850, right? For it to be. He's coming off 857 season, 850. Do you think it should go up? Are you going to say 9?
He split carries. It was like 3 backs in St. Louis. LA.
That's true.
It was like
and
3 backs.
He only played 15 games.
Yeah, man. Gurley got to get a rack, bro. He got to get a rack.
Freeman only played 14 games. Shit.
He got to get a rack, man.
So wait, I want to give you a stat and see if this changed your mind. It ain't going to change your mind because he only played 13 games. Saquon Barkley just barely hit that rack. He had 1,003 yards, but he did it in 13 games.
Come on, man. Come on.
And let me give you the running backs that hit 1,000 last year because it might surprise you in order. Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Nick Chubb. Christian McCaffrey. Zeke Elliott. Chris Carson. Lamar Jackson.
Crazy.
Leonard Fournette. Josh Jacobs. Joe Mixon. Dalvin Cook. Marlon Mack. Aaron Jones. Carlos Hyde. Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsay, and Saquon Barkley.
Carlos Hyde had 1,000 yards rushing.
Had 1070.
Wow.
Was durable too. Played all 16 games.
That's the only one that really shocked me. All them other people, I expected at least get a rack.
Chris Carson shocked me.
But you get my point.
Chris Carson had 1230. Chris Carson, to me,
but they're a running team to me. They're a running team.
Seattle?
Yes, they're a running team.
That's the only shock for me.
Nah, that's not. Chris Carson, he had a good year the year prior. They're a running team. They run the rock.
Yeah.
Even Melvin Gordon. I seen Adam Scheffler and another guy, some other verified dude, arguing about whether or not the Bills offered Melvin Gordon a contract. I don't know if they did or didn't. Allegedly, Shefty is Melvin Gordon agent said that the Bills never hit him back, so he decided to go to the Broncos. I'm gonna tell you something else. I said on this show, me and you kind of went back and forth about, and this ain't I'm not throwing no shot at you, but me and you had this argument. I think teams are looking at running backs like, yo, we can find one. Forget these guys. We can find one in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. Use and abuse him. Once we think we done used him up when he's 26, 27 years old, we throw him to the free agency and we'll go draft another one. And that is crazy because they'll draft in the same draft 2-3 guys. They'll take 2-3 running backs and be like, one of these dudes going to be it. I don't think they are looking at the running back position like that shit is disposable. That shit can get anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. So they are not willing to pay running backs the big guap pay. We grew up in the era when it was Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Thurman Thomas, those type, Bo Jackson. These guys was workhorse backs getting 30 carries a game.
Yeah, man.
We are not there anymore. We are not there. They think they can get anybody. Look at what the Niners just did. The Niners had 4 backs. They got the Mozart, they got Coleman, they got Breida, and they had another dude. They got 4 backs. And it was just yo, this could be a Coleman game. This could be
and getting production.
That's what I'm saying from everybody. So they yo, we can find anybody to do this. Oh, he hurt. Cool. Next, the running back position is the epitome of next man up. I know we say that about every position, but it's more so for running back. Tevin Coleman go down. Cool. Put Mostert in and watch him tote this thing. Yeah, man. If I had a son, I don't even want my son to play football, but if I had a son, he damn sure ain't about to be no running back. That's a fact. Spade, we can move.
It's changed, bro.
We can move on.
Yeah, it's changed.
It is okay, different.
You're talking about the running back position and how that landscape has changed, and you're 100% right. From that, I kind of want to talk about the wide receiver position. There's a few wide receivers that moved during this free agency period, and it's not over. It's still some time left in free agency, but
there's still a lot of good wide receivers out there too.
It is. But the receiver position is another one to me that leaves me scratching my head. I saw the deal that sent Stephon Diggs to Buffalo, and then it made me look at the DeAndre Hopkins deal, and I couldn't understand why. I still, somebody help me to understand why did the Texans do that?
Fuck are the Texans doing?
I can't,
Bill O'Brien
for the
needs
life
to be fired.
I can't figure it out. Now, you're probably talking about for even doing the whole trade or whatever, but for what it's worth, for those that don't know, apparently DeAndre Hopkins had a conversation with Michael Irvin where he told him that he got called into the office once with Bill O'Brien, and Bill told him, I've only had to have this meeting one other time in my life, and that was with Aaron Hernandez. So obviously, D-Hop said that kind of took him, back. Like, I don't know where you're going with this to compare me to Aaron Hernandez, but apparently Bill O'Brien, who I assume Leparis was speaking from like a place of his religious beliefs or whatever, but he felt some kind of way about the number of baby mamas that D-Hop had, and I think it was also an issue with how frequently he was bringing them around. So this thing kind of blew up. Folks were saying, it had racial undertones, and it was continuing to grow. And D-Hop went on Twitter and said, this thing is blown up, and it went way out of hand. Mm-hmm. Like, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach O'Brien. Like, there's no hard feelings there. And I don't know if that's just D-Hop being the bigger man or say, if his publicist or PR person told him to say what he needed to say. But I think if I'm Deshaun Watson, I've already watched Dwayne Brown, who at one point was one of the best offensive linemen on that team. I saw him. He had an injury, but coming back from that injury, they moved him to Seattle. It seems like they kind of have some issues protecting him on that line. They tried to fix that. They made a deal to get Laremy Tunsil. So they tried to work on that. But seeing the D-Hop deal, and then you bring in David Johnson, and this ain't no shade to David Johnson. When healthy, we know what he is. But that when healthy don't happen very often, Leparis.
I mean,
and with his
last
contract,
time he was healthy was what, 3 years ago?
It's been a while. It's really been a while. I just, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm feeling like us building a team to compete isn't a priority. And then I think I don't want to stay there. So I don't know if you got anything to throw on that, but I don't understand that Houston deal, bro.
Yes, we have this conversation about, and I don't want to say black quarterbacks, but we have this conversations about quarterbacks, just quarterbacks that we like in general. And we know the Texans are gonna if Dak getting franchised, he getting 30-something million, and Dak probably gonna get $35 million a year. We think Mahomes and Lamar and all these guys probably going to get 40 a year. Deshaun Watson is going to be right around that number. Like, he's wherever the top tier guys is amongst age and eliteness in the league, Deshaun Watson is going to be right there. But, I'm not saying he's going to get more than Mahomes. I'm saying he's going to be right there. A little bit under that. Spade, we say this all the time, bruh. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm not re-ing up. The bad thing about football is they can franchise homie. That's the bad thing. So they're just franchise his ass if he don't sign. But I am highly considering not re-ing up here. What are they doing? You get me we just talked about the running back position. You get me a running back who wasn't even wasn't even the second best running back. He was the third best running back on the Cardinals last year. He was the third best guy, maybe fourth best guy, if you add the quarterback, Spade. They traded for Drake. They had a little guy too, Spade. He was using the little guy in our little franchise. What the little guy name is? Edwards or something?
On who?
On the Cardinals. They got a little running back. Damn, I can't remember his name. I think his name is Edwards or Williams or something.
Chase
Edmonds. Yeah. Edmonds was tearing shit up, but I think he ended up getting hurt. Didn't he they bust the trade for Drake, and Drake looked amazing in Arizona.
Yeah, he was.
And if you want to throw Kyler Murray ahead of what's the name, I wouldn't even be mad at you. So you would say DJ is the fourth best back on that field, on that team. And you trade arguably top 2, top 3 wide receiver in the league for this running back. I don't understand it. Then you trade a top 1, 2, 3 guy and then don't even get a first round pick? What? I don't understand what they're doing, bro. I don't understand.
I don't either.
I don't understand what the Texans doing. I want Deshaun Watson to really look hard. And like I said, football sucks because they could just franchise him. But he really need to look inside and be like, yo, I don't know if I want to be here. I don't know if I want to be here. We talked about the Diggs trade. The Bills traded for Diggs. I like that move. Like I said, my issue is with the quarterback. Can he stop turning the ball over? Hopefully, if he can get that under there, I can see the Bills competing for that division. Also, Emmanuel Sanders ended up going with the Saints. Now, it was some other teams interested in Emmanuel Sanders. We know he was with the Niners, and Jimmy Garoppolo overthrew him in that Super Bowl because he was butt naked open. He was wide open. That could have changed the landscape of that game. But the Cowboys was taking a shot at Sanders as well as the Green Bay Packers. He decided to go down there to the Saints. I think the Saints still going to be right there in the hunt. Spade, but just the wide receiver position, there's still some good wide receivers out there. Taylor Gabriel is still out there. There's still some guys that can do, certain things well. So it's still some guys out there. But, I mean, Hopkins to the Cardinals, I mean, he seems to be excited.
I don't understand it.
He seems to be excited about it.
I'm still. You said he's excited?
Yeah, he seems to be excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he should be. Kyler Murray showed that he's built for this league. So, I mean, and that's no shade to Deshaun at all. But, I mean, you go out there, you get a chance to just pick the brain. And, Leparis, you and I, we do stuff like this. And I don't know if everybody feel like this is as valuable as I feel like it is. But just being able to be out there and soak up knowledge from Fitz as a receiver, as one of the best receivers in the game today, being able to be around Fitz and soak up that knowledge, I think it's tremendously valuable, man. And I just think it's gonna make him an even better player. Can I go back? Let me go back and say something about Bill O'Brien because I forgot about this. About a year ago, the Texans fired their GM and they gave O'Brien the control.
Yes, he's been running the show.
And the first thing he did was trade Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Bro, he should have been fired. Bro, I don't know what he's doing. Bro,
he really botched the Jadeveon Clowney thing because they franchise tagged him. So they paid him a bunch of money and then traded him anyway.
Bro.
So
the other Watt just joined the other Watt in Pittsburgh. It's like 3 Watts in the league. I think it's a fullback or something. But 2 of the Watts is on Pittsburgh. And, jokingly, some verified NFL analyst was like, Pittsburgh need to hit up the Texans. They probably could get the other Watt for a 3rd round pick right now. The way they just giving away talent for nothing.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know
what he's doing. I can't figure it out.
Listen, man.
I can't figure it out.
I want better for Deshaun Watson. You just giving away all the talent. You giving away all the talent. What? Bro, you looking at that division. That was the Texans division. I mean, that was the Texans division. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I want better for this.
Houston did get Randall Cobb.
It's crazy because I didn't want the Cowboys to lose him, but come on, like Randall Cobb is a slot receiver. We talking about a guy, and I know you're not, saying they the same wide receiver. I know that I know that. But I'm just saying, you talking about Cobb, who's a slot receiver. We talking about a guy that not only can run the whole route tree, but can stretch the field. Like, you are game planning and being like, we gotta stop Hopkins. That's the game plan on defense. So where the hell is Hopkins at?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I got it.
What if they believe that the combination of Cobb, Kenny Stills, and Will Fuller, what if they feel like they can make up that production for cheaper?
Can we get a full season from Will Fuller? Will Fuller been hurt every year. Every season he been in the league, he been hurt. Cobb,
I can answer that for you. No,
Cobb,
you can't.
Cobb, and I loved Cobb with the Cowboys, but Cobb got hurt. Cobb been hurt for the past 2-3 seasons as well. Come on, man. I understand that.
Will Fuller ain't had a complete season since he been in the league.
Bro, I know that for a fact. He been hurt every year.
I like him.
He's a beast when he can get on the field. But he's always hurt.
Yeah, you know how I feel about my boy Kenny Stills.
Come on, man.
I like Kenny.
Come on, man. I love Kenny Stills. But, I mean, like I said, if I know anything, I feel Cobb is going to get injured. He's going to have some knick-knack injury. He's going to be out for 2-3 games. And Kenny Stills is not going to give me a full season. So it's just going to be, I mean, not Kenny Stills, I'm sorry, Fuller. Will Fuller is not going to give me a full season. So it's going to be Kenny Stills and who? They got the other dude.
Damn good question.
CD Cutie, something Cutie, Kiki Cutie. He's been hurt every year he's been in the league. All right, Spade. Let's move on, bro.
Let's get it.
So we talked about some of the guys that's been on the move. Of course, we haven't talked about everybody, but there's some guys we wanted to mention, man. There's some top free agents left. I got a handful of people that's left, Spade, and we're going to talk about. Jadeveon Clowney is out there. He's 27 years old. Jameis Winston is out there because we know Tom Brady signed with the Bucs, so he will not be back in Tampa. Actually, this morning, Saturday morning, I think Jameis Winston actually released a thank you Tampa, like to the fans. He will not, like, you know, a farewell to the fans in Tampa. Excuse me, I spoke on Robbie Anderson. I don't know what's the plan here. I don't know what the Jets are doing, but Robbie Anderson is 27 years old. A guy that we both consider, you know, we know what we getting from Ndamukong Suh at this stage of his career, but he's 33 years old. And we got Cam Newton, because we haven't mentioned it yet, but the Panthers have signed Teddy Bridgewater. Mm-hmm. And it look like they are definitely moving on from Cam. Right now, they gave him permission to seek a trade. I also read that if he is not able to find a trade, maybe they will just release him. And he's 30 years old. Spade.
Yes.
These notable free agents are out here. It don't seem like the market is dictating where these guys should go or could go. I'm looking around and I'm looking like, yo, for the number some of these guys want, I don't think they're going to get that. Jameis Winston is reportedly being mentioned to Washington to back up Haskins.
He'll take that job.
Clowney talking about he want 20-something million, maybe 30 million a year. I don't know what Clowney want. Clowney want an astronomical number, Spade. I don't think he's going to get that on this market. Spade, where do you see any of these guys going? Why? I don't know.
I tell you what I would like to see. I won't see it.
Go ahead.
But you know what? I would love to just see a switcheroo at quarterback. I love to see Jameis go up to New England. Go up there and sling the shit out that pigskin. Bill Belichick, if you want to, hey, Bill, if you want to make a statement that you the one that made Tom, go get Jameis. Bring Jameis up there. Let me tell you something. Them Boston folks would be so pissed off to see Jameis.
You ain't lying.
I just want to be in the area when Jameis get out the plane. Man, let me tell you. I don't know what's going on with Jadeveon Clowney. I'm hearing rumors of Jadeveon to Tennessee.
Yeah, I heard the Eagles. I heard the Giants.
Yeah, man.
I just don't think nobody paying that price tag, bro.
I don't think they are either. And I'm trying to find. I had found at one point what Clowney was saying he wanted, but
Spade, what about Cam? Because if we was thinking Cam, and I'm gonna talk about it a little later.
Everybody thought Chicago.
Cam to Chicago, but they traded for Foles.
Yep.
If you guys didn't know, Chicago busted a move and they traded. Jacksonville traded Nick Foles to Chicago, so definitely Foles is their starting quarterback. Now we don't know if Foles is gonna make it through the whole season because that's been a problem, with Foles.
Yep.
But we thought that was a landing spot for Cam. We thought, okay, maybe Jameis and Cam could go to LA to play for the Chargers, but the Chargers sound like they want to move on with Tyrod Taylor. And I see some Tyrod slander out there too that I'm not happy about. I see y'all. But it look like they're going to move on. They're going to go young, probably draft a quarterback and just give Tyrod the keys for now until the young boy ready. So it don't look like Winston or Cam is a guy that can go there. Right. I don't know where these quarterbacks can go.
I think maybe both, but definitely at least one of these guys, they're going to find themselves in a situation similar to what Ryan Tannehill found himself in last season. And you got to do like Big Crit say on the Booby Miles song, man. You got to wait till your number get called, and when they call your number, you better give your all, because we talk on this show about how short this window is, and Jameis has been given a fair shot, fam. Like, if he wasn't, I'd be the first guy to sit here and say Jameis has not been given a fair shot. Jameis has been given a fair shot, man, and he and Mariota both 1 and 2. A ton of expectation when you're taking that high. And both of those guys are probably going to have to earn their way back into a starting position. Mariota's gone. Mariota's gone to Oakland, Las Vegas, or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
But they still got Carr. And I pulled Carr's numbers from last season, and Carr didn't have a bad season at all. So I don't see.
He was solid, but it seemed like they want to move on from him too.
It seemed like they want to move on from him, but I don't think it. I could be wrong. Raider fans hit me up, but based off what I see on paper, because I don't watch a lot of Raiders games, but it don't look like it's related to his play. It don't look like it's related to his play. It don't look like he's playing bad. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's unfortunate, man, because Jameis is that guy, and he's kind of been this guy, and some of it is his fault. He's done some things to bring a lot of unwanted comments his way, but Jameis has turned to that guy that it's just cool to hate on, man. Like, all up and down my timeline, it's just people act like Jameis the worst thrower of the football they've ever seen, and he's not. And Leparis, shout out to the homie Mark. He reminded me of something that I didn't remember. The very infamous post-game interview with Jim Mora saying, playoffs? Don't talk to me about playoffs. We'd just be lucky to win a game. You know who he was mad at? Peyton, who was throwing to the other team. Jim Moore was like, whatever you guys say to me, don't blame this on my defense. You can't win a game when the quarterback is throwing the football to the other team 4 and 5 times a game. He was talking about Peyton Manning. He was talking about Peyton. So if Peyton can turn it around and end up being a Hall of Famer, I look at 25, 26-year-old Jameis, and I feel like it ain't the end of the world that a guy who threw for 5,100 yards, and I think only 8 or 9 quarterbacks in the history of the sport has thrown for 5,100 yards. And people just act like he's the worst thrower of the pigskin they ever seen. And I just think that's tremendously unfair. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think it's unfair.
I want to mention this too, man. Spade, we have seen countless video. And I said this on the show maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I said, it got me wondering, and I'm a guy that wears glasses, but it got me wondering, can Jameis see? We've seen countless videos of Jameis squinting.
Yep.
So this offseason, he finally decided to have LASIK surgery to fix his eyesight. So I might have said that 3 years ago on the show. But I was saying, I think Jameis is out there with no contact lenses in his eyes. He's always squinting. I don't think he can see. I honestly said that on the show 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he finally decided to have LASIK eye surgery this year to fix his eyesight. So it's crazy because it might have been a year too late, because I don't see a landing spot for these guys. They're talking about Jameis Winston, not as a starter. They are talking about Jameis Winston potentially going to Washington to be the backup to Haskins. And we just seen Washington talking about, we don't know if Haskins is the guy. We might take Tua at 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, Spade. Like I said, this is kind of like a bad period for these guys, because I don't want to say all these, but this is a quarterback draft. Like, it's some quarterbacks. We don't know if these quarterbacks are going to pan out to be anything. Right. But I think these teams or owners or GMs would rather take a shot with 22-year-old young fella who can potentially be all world than take 30-year-old Cam and 26-year-old Jameis.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'd rather go young and risk it all. I don't know where Robbie Anderson going to land, but it's still, like I said, there's still some receivers out there. Robbie Anderson is one of them. It got to be a team. You put Robbie Anderson in Minnesota on the other side of Thielen, I think that's a win. You kind of replace Diggs right there.
You don't kind of replace him. You replace him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it depends on if Robbie Anderson got crazy demands, like, I want this amount of money. I think Ndamukong Suh will land on his feet. He always does. He's going to go to some team, probably get a 1 to 2 year deal, and do what Suh do. Now, over these past years, Suh ain't been the sack master he was early in his career, but I mean, Suh still out there demanding a double team. He clogging shit up. I'm shocked that nobody has hit up Clowney. I'm shocked.
I think
And
Clowney's
seen
price
people-
is so high. It's scaring folks away.
I seen people saying Clowney is mid, Spade. Is Clowney mid?
I'm gonna tell you, I swear I say Nate's name way too much. Me and Nate was talking about Clowney, and I was like, I don't feel like Clowney is that good. And Nate was like, he's that good.
You said that?
Yeah. And Nate
Okay.
said he's that good. He's just not that consistent. When you watch Clowney play, he can turn it on and dominate like a quarter, and then just be like, that's enough for now. You know what I'm saying? And that's always kind of been the knock on him, because even when he was in college, people felt like he was saving himself for the league, you know, because he was taking plays off in college. So maybe it's that. The homie Cullenberger said this dude still out here, you know, cashing in on a play he made back in college. Like, anytime people talk Clowney, they talk about that one play from when he was in college. So, I don't know, man.
Spade,
I
I glossed over it a little bit, but Teddy Bridgewater going to the Panthers and Phillip Rivers going to the Colts.
Yeah. I'm not upset with either one of those signings. You know, Phillip Rivers is a gunslinger, man. So with that mentality comes some turnovers. It's funny, man. Like, we treat gunslingers different depending. Like, Brett Favre was a gunslinger his entire career. That man, he's the all-time interception leader. And anytime people talk about Brett Favre, they only talk about his good. So, I don't know. I'm not upset with that signing.
Favre only got one Super Bowl, right? He only got one.
Yeah, I think so. It's just funny, man. Like, when people like you, they can spin the narrative. When they don't like you, you know, and this ain't nothing new. It's always been that way. It's going to always be this way. But, you know, I'm a little shocked to see how things in Carolina went down. Like, Cam Newton's story with the Panthers is so crazy, man, because when they signed this kid, when they drafted this kid, they said that they asked him, like, hey, do you have any tattoos? And he was like, no. They was like, good, don't get any tattoos. You know, they basically told him they wanted him to meet this specific image that they felt like he was going to need to have in order to be the face of the franchise in Carolina. That speaks to what they feel like the fan base is in Carolina. I don't know. Maybe they feel like a black guy with tattoos wouldn't have been accepted in the area. I don't know. But at some point, Cam started to express himself more in the way he dressed and the way he rocked his hair, his celebrations after first downs and touchdowns. And for a long time, man, Cam Newton was the Carolina Panthers. I know Carolina has had a great defense, you know, pretty much the entire time Cam been there. But Cam has been the identity there. And to see this thing go sour like it went, to the point that, you know, they said, we have given Cam Newton permission to seek a trade. And Cam replied to it and said, you know, I don't like the word in here. I never asked for permission to seek a trade. You know, you guys are going away from me, and just say that. Just make a post and say, we don't want Cam Newton. You know, don't say y'all giving me, you know, so it don't seem like that's going to be a pretty breakup. Nobody knows where Cam is. And I got a friend who's been on the show once. Shout out to the homie Mark. And we actually had words about Cam because he was saying, you know, Cam Newton, he didn't spend enough time working on his accuracy. He wanted to stay in the gym and get buff, and he wanted to be Superman, and that don't help you have longevity in this league. And I'm like, I just feel like that's a real fickle approach to a guy who, man, we don't even know if Cam is healthy to this day because of what he gave that franchise. Like, Cam tore his body to pieces for Carolina. He did that shit for y'all. So even if he is broken down and he isn't the guy he once was, I still feel like he's owed some type of loyalty. And I know it's a business, and I know at the end of the day, once you can't produce at a level they want you to produce at, they done with you. But even for the fans, I would like to see Carolina fans give a whole lot more respect to Cam Newton. You know, MVP winner, had that Super Bowl appearance where nobody on the Carolina O-line could block Von Miller. Like, Von just destroyed Cam. Cam also took hits. If you look at his career, he took hits that if Brady was hit with those hits, man, it would have been fines, flags, suspensions, ejections, all of it. Cam got hit a lot. and it didn't even draw flags, man. So I hate to see people turn their back on Cam, but I still feel like he might land in a backup role, which sucks. But he might land in a backup role, and he just got to wait on his number to be called, bro.
Spade, what about one of them in Jacksonville? Jacksonville just traded Foles. I mean, they got Gardner Minshew, but I mean, I don't know if he's a starting. Yeah, I don't know if he's their guy. Maybe they want to go draft one of these young quarterbacks, but I wouldn't mind seeing one of them in Jacksonville.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, I would like to see one of them there.
I mean, and speaking of Jacksonville, you know what I mean? I got Jacksonville stuff right, bro. The Jags made a lot of move. And the dude, I'm a jack his name up, Yannick Ngakoue.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
He won out. They just traded Foles. Excuse me. Every time you look around, they moving on from somebody, whether it be Ramsey, Telvin Smith still ain't returned. He ain't back. It's crazy because he's still on Madden. I'm like, why is he still on Madden? He's not on that team. But like he took a year off. We don't know if he's going to return. Bro, every time you look around, Leonard Fournette is tweeting like, "All by myself." Like he is by himself. They letting everybody go. But Spade, I got it right here. The Jacksonville Jaguar picks in the upcoming draft. They got 2 first rounders. They got 9, 20. In the second round, they got 42. They got 73 in the third round. In the fourth round, they got all these picks right here in the fourth round. 116, 118, 140. In the fifth round, they got 165, 170. In the sixth round, they got 189, 206. And in the seventh round, they got 223. And Ngakoue want out, and they want 2 first round picks if somebody want to trade for him. They also got 2 first round picks in 2021. So they got a lot of picks, Spade. So it just sucks to me because I don't know where any of these guys we mentioned can land. I don't know where any of them can land.
I don't either.
I'm looking at Jacksonville. Jameis got some Tallahassee, you know, because he played for Florida State. So maybe they're like Jameis down there. I don't know. I also want to mention that the Cowboys did sign
Gerald
McCoy, and they also signed Clinton Ha Dix. I'm just going through some stuff. I talked about the Rams losses, talked about what the Cardinals did. Let me speak on the Vikings' departure too, Spade. What are the Vikings doing? Because the Vikings traded Diggs.
I think they had to move Diggs, though.
Trey Waynes left. They cut Linval Joseph. We talked about that. Yep. Joe Klein, the offensive lineman, is going. Xavier Rhodes is going. Mackenzie Alexander is going. Linebacker David Morgan is going. Everson Griffin is a free agent. I don't know, man. They tagged Anthony Harris, but he might be traded. I don't know, Spade. Like, I don't know what they doing over there either. Got to talk about Darius Slay. Darius Slay got traded from Detroit, went to the Eagles, and then they paid him the bizag.
Sure did.
He's now the highest paid corner in the league. And Pro Football Focus actually said he's like the 85th, 80-something ranked cornerback last year in the league. How do you feel about him getting that bag?
I mean, Slay got some fans, so I gotta choose my words carefully because the Darius Slay fans would get in here and tell you he the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Every year, when we do our top fives, they like, where's Slay? Every year.
Yeah, man. I think it's a solid pickup. I mean, I would not have paid him what they paid him, but I definitely think he come in being the best corner on their team. So yeah.
It's crazy because the Dolphins got 2 of the 3 top paid corners in the league. They got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Slay is at 16.6. Jones is at 16.5. And Howard is at 15.1. It's crazy.
Up. Best damn offseason we ever seen. Best free agency we ever seen. And you don't even know how hard we finna go in the draft. Huh?
Calais Campbell ended up going to the Ravens. He went to the Ravens.
That's a good pickup.
It's a good pickup. What about how you feel about Nick Foles to the Bears?
I mean, when healthy, he's definitely better than Trubisky. He does have some durability issues, even though that last injury definitely wasn't his fault. It doesn't change the fact that he was again injured. But yeah, I like that Chicago is realizing that they made a mistake. A lot of people take these picks really high and they don't want to eat crow, man, and they stay with those options way too long. I think bringing another quarterback in and a quarterback with an $88 million contract, bringing that in and saying, hey, all right, we was wrong. Trubisky's not our guy, and we want to look elsewhere. Matter of fact, man, one of those players, oh, man, is it a receiver? Somebody that plays for Chicago been working his ass off on social media trying to recruit other quarterbacks. And I saw him tweet.
It was Cordell Patterson.
That's who it was.
And then it was Allen Robinson that was liking all the posts.
Yeah, man. Those guys.
About basically saying, yo, let's get a quarterback.
Yep. So I saw him tweet like, man, I'm striking out every time I try to recruit somebody. Should I stop? And somebody tweeted him back and was like, man, you really hate Trubisky, huh? Like anytime it's a quarterback without a job, he'd be like, hey, come here. Like he's trying his best.
Bro, it's crazy because you didn't really speak on Teddy Bridgewater.
I like that signing. I'm good with it.
You do?
Yeah.
You think he was the answer down there?
I don't know. I like Teddy, but I'm not gonna front.
Concerned about their weapons, babe. We know what C-Mac is. C-Mac all world. We love C-Mac.
DJ Moore look like he gonna be all right.
It's the consistency I don't like, and I know somebody gonna blame that somebody is going to blame that on the wide receiver position. But Spade, we get enough angles, and I'm not saying DJ Moore ain't it, but we have seen enough angles to be like, when we could be like, especially at home, because we get we in 4K, 60 frames, like we getting hella camera angles. Yeah. And we like, that's a bad throw by the quarterback. Look, boom, boom, the wide receiver hit the move, foot in the ground, he wide open. Throw it now. And it's the consistency I'm not liking with the Panthers receivers, man. Samuel, DJ Moore, I don't like the consistency. G-Red look like he out.
He is out. He's gone.
He retired. He retired, right?
No, he went to Seattle, didn't he?
Oh yeah, you're right. He went to Seattle. Yeah. You're right. Jason Witten went to the Raiders.
That's who needed to retire.
I don't know if I like Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy was looking like, you know what? It looked like the Saints like
Taysom Hill
better than me. Because when they was like, yo, Drew Brees might retire, they was like, well, Taysom Hill right there. And he like, wait a minute. I was the one winning those games. I didn't lose a game.
Right.
So I guess he was like, you know what? It's time for me to bust a move. If I can get me, find a starting position in the league, I'm out. And it looked like that's what he did. But like I said, I love C-Mac. And Spade, it was C-Mac and Cam, and that was it. We know G-Reg was hurt last year. But it was C-Mac, and that was basically it.
Pretty much.
So, and like I said, this is the draft, Spade, to get wide receivers, because they out there. Boy, this is a heavy wide receiver draft. So if you're looking for skill position players, they are out there in this draft. But we have to see, man. I'm hoping it work out for Teddy Bridgewater, because I already know it's going to be a short line down there. We already know how they do.
Yeah. Yep.
Spade, I'm going to move on. We can move on if you want.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, the NFL CBA was approved by like the closest margin ever. It was like 51.5 to 48.5, and there was some players very upset. They was vocal about it, like, yo, this is the bad deal. And it seemed like the high price players didn't like it, and the players that's just, the majority of the players in the NFL do not make the bizag. They ain't getting paid a lot of money. I mean, they're getting paid a lot. You get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. They're not high-priced players, the majority of them. And it seemed like those were the guys that approved this deal. Spade, I got to ask you, you're not getting suspended for marijuana no more. That was mentioned. It's an extra game. It's only one bye per conference now. So, I got to ask. The CBA, I'm always for football, more football. So, I want what's best for the players first. Mm-hmm. But hey, if football is back, it's no strike. The CBA was approved. Talk to me about it, bro. How you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I told you when we first discussed it here on the podcast, the only thing that, if I'm one of the players, the only thing I really would have been head up to try to change is the guaranteed contracts. We know that the owners want 18 games, so they felt like they was meeting the players halfway by saying 17 games, which is weird because at the next CBA proposal, it's going to go to 18. We all know it is. So, I mean, the 17-game thing, I guess players may not like that. I don't really know. Like you said, they made some changes to the substance abuse policy, and it's not that you can't be suspended for marijuana being in your system, but now they got a much higher tolerance. So you got to have been like smoking. You got to be like, you know what I'm saying, smoking like a chimney, I guess. I don't know anything about those tolerances, but it is definitely a cutoff point where you can still be, in trouble or whatever. So I ain't never really feel like it was a terribly bad contract, a proposal in the first place. The only thing I feel like the players should have fought harder for was guaranteed contract. So I'm not mad that they signed it. I think more than anything, and this it's not directly related. The only thing I'm a little upset about is right now the league is saying, right now we got no plans to stop anything for coronavirus, fam. We going full speed ahead. We trying to get this money. Like, they so money hungry. They don't give a damn what happens. So, I mean, that's not really related, but
I did read that the draft will still go on, but it's not going to be open to the public. They usually just let the people in for, like, fans in for the draft. It is not going to be open to the public.
It's still going to be a shit ton of people representing these teams and players and families. Yeah. And it's still going to be way more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm always for football, man. I want football. I don't never want football to go on strike, and the players know better than me, and they approved it. It was a close vote, though. It was close.
It was.
And the crazy thing, I want to say it was Amari Cooper who actually got the bag too. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. He got paid, but he actually might have Snapchat or Instagram Live did and was like, Instagram story, excuse me, and was like, the vote is anonymous. So he kind of insinuated like, yo, the NFL could be fixing this shit. Like, we don't know who voted for what. We don't know which player voted yes, which player voted no, because it's all anonymous. So the NFL could just be like, yo,
it passed.
This is the number. And like, he basically saying like it could be a fixed vote. That's what he was insinuating from what I read. But I mean, you want to pray and hope that they're not doing that, but crazier shit has happened. I mean, look how these presidencies in the United States has been coming about. So crazier shit has happened. If they'll do it for the president, they damn sure do it for some football. So nothing shocks me anymore. Spade, I gotta do something before we close the show, bro.
What you got?
Want to take it to Cleveland? Can I take it to Cleveland?
Go ahead, bro.
Spade, we not doing this shit again, bro. We not doing it again. Spade, who did the Browns sign?
Austin Hooper, the former Atlanta Falcon tight end.
Spade, I seen on Twitter, notable, reputable sites is like, yo, look at Baker Mayfield weapons, Juice, OBJ, Kareem Hunt, Chubb, Austin Hooper, Njoku, blah, 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 blah. We not doing this shit again. They still got Baker Mayfield as the quarterback. Okay?
We know on paper.
We know what we get. Go ahead, Spade.
I said they do look good on paper. I give them that.
Come on. We did, but they did this shit last year. Mm-hmm. They was picking the Browns to go to the Super Bowl and win that division. Still is down 2-3 quarterbacks and got still 2-3. They down. Steelers are down 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and a quarterback got bumped in the head, and they still was out there competing better than the Browns, Spade.
That's true.
Like, come on, we're not doing this shit.
That's true.
We're not doing this shit again with the Browns, talking about all this talent the Browns got, and the Browns is about to be shut the league. Nah. We're not doing this shit. This shit gotta be played on the field. I'm not doing this shit with these outlets again, Spade. I'm not doing it. I'm tired of this shit. Is Baker gonna get his mind right?
Probably not.
Spade? You said probably not. See? Well, we're not doing this shit again. Spade, the Browns signed Austin Hooper. What about Njoku? I
Njoku was hurt last year, though, so I'm okay with it.
Say it again?
I'm okay with it. Njoku was hurt. He only played 4 games last season. So I don't remember what his injury was, but it must be something they're a little bit concerned about, I guess.
I felt like they was using him wrong. They got him out there lead blocking.
He looked good at 18. 2018, man, that dude had...
And they used him wrong then.
You're right. But, I mean, 700 receiving yards, basically. 4 TDs. He accounted for 27 first downs. But last year, he only played in 4 games. He only had 5 catches. And he only had 1 touchdown. So, unless they feel like that's the type of injury he might have not... And he's young. He's 23, bro. He's 23.
Bro, I know. You think I would love for Dallas to go get him right now. Right now.
Shit, send him down to Miami. And I like Gesicki, but send him down to Miami. Sheesh. Boy, it's 23.
Y'all got two studs at quarter tight end though. Gesicki and the other dude. What's the other dude?
Leary?
Man? Yeah. Y'all got some dudes down there.
Yeah, man. I told you we won,
no
bro. We won free agency. Fins up.
Oh my God.
You just confirmed.
Spade, anything else you want to talk about before I close the show? I just wanted to mention the Cleveland.
Smythe.
We're not doing this shit again this year.
You're talking about Smythe. My bad. Before you close the show, do I have anything? I feel like I should. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I got a positive message for everybody, man. It's a lot of things being shut down. They want us to practice this social distancing. They want y'all to keep y'all asses at home. That don't mean you can't leave your house, but you know, you got to try to avoid large crowds. And I'm having a hard time explaining this to my loved ones. You know, every time I turn around, my parents and my wife, they want to run to the store and get a few odds and ends. Like, fam, stay your ass in the house, fam. Take this opportunity to do, everybody set those goals that really don't get hit on. Take this time to do that shit, man. Read a book. Create something, create some content, do some arts and craft, install Duolingo on your phone, learn a second language, call some people, watch some movies, binge watch some, like, do something in this time. You know, I fussed at myself, Leparis, because I stopped working out and I said, fam, I got a few weeks that I can honestly say that I have enough time to go work out. Me take my lazy ass in here and work out. I know a couple of weeks of working out ain't gonna make a world of difference, but it's better than sitting around doing nothing. Take this time and do something to better yourself in one way, shape, form, or fashion. That's my advice.
Man, that's good shit.
That's what I give. That's what I provide, bro.
Listen, man. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Strong Arm Sports. We want you guys to leave your thoughts. Man, tweet us. Y'all know. Tweet us. How do you feel about what is going on in NFL free agency right now? Did your team make moves you like? I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys signed some players I like. I don't know. I mean, we got Ha-Ha for cheap, so I ain't tripping off Ha-Ha. But Ha-Ha been on like 3 teams in 3 years. Like, what's going on with Ha-Ha? Ha-Ha might not be it. Ha-Ha might be blah blah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Ha-Ha might be ass. But I mean, Spade, let me say this. If the Cowboys could get Clowney for $10 million, I'd take it. But for what Clowney asking for, if Clowney asking for $20 million, nah, Clowney. But if we can get it for $10 million because you just want to piss the league off, I'm with it. Piss the league off, Clowney. Sign with the Cowboys for 10.
Clowney said you got the wrong one. He trying to get them pockets right.
I mean, yeah, he clearly got the wrong one because ain't nobody called him. He said, well, he got the wrong one. Shit. But anyway, man, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Strong Arm Sports, man. As usual, if you're new here, bang the subscribe button. If you're a regular, hit the like button and take 2 seconds. There's also a little bell up there. You can click that bell to send notifications to your mobile device to let you know a new episode has been uploaded and or premiered on our channel, man. We want to thank you guys. Listen, if you don't want to see 2 dudes arguing in the box, it's okay. We got an audio podcast everywhere. ऊPodOmatic, iTunes, Spotify. We are everywhere. There's no reason why you guys should ever miss a show. Bro, y'all been showing mad love digitally, bruh. Like, the downloads has been through the roof. I guess everybody like, yo, you know what I mean? We up in these stores taking all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer. We got the podcast playing in our ears. So, man, we want to thank you guys for your team support. We'll see you guys next episode. We out. Peace.
Pins up.